We're so often told that success is all about luck or, raw talent. But what if the things that really drive success are invisible? Today, we're going to unpack 9 skills that you can actually learn. They work behind the scenes and they compound over time to give you a serious, serious advantage.
Okay, let's dive right into this because it's a huge distinction. See, talent might get you noticed, it might get you in the door, but it's your skill that keeps you in the room. That's what you build when nobody's watching. And ultimately, it's your character that gets you that next big opportunity. This right here, this really gets to the heart of what I call the talent trap. We all know someone who's brilliant but can't seem to get ahead. See, potential is not the same as performance. The real game is developing the skills to actually use your gifts. So how do you actually get unstuck? Well, it all comes down to the compound effect. Success isn't an overnight thing. It's really just a lagging indicator of your daily habits. And the best part, the skills we're about to cover are totally free to learn. But ignoring them, well, that comes at a very, very high cost. All right, let's get into the first set of skills, the foundational skills. I want you to think of these as the absolute bedrock, the concrete slab for everything else you want to build in your life and your career. So the 3 pillars of this foundation are what we call radical reliability, radical responsibility, and having a bias toward action. Let's break down exactly what each of those means. First up, radical reliability. In a world that's just full of inconsistency, being the person who does what they say they're going to do is a massive advantage. Your word literally becomes your brand. That consistency is your greatest asset. It's about being someone people know they can count on, no matter what. Next up, radical responsibility. This is a huge mindset shift. It's about owning the outcome, period. When you stop playing the blame game and instead you ask, okay, what's my move here? You instantly take back control of the situation. Blame keeps you stuck. Responsibility is what sets you free. And the third foundational skill is all about momentum. A bias toward action means you get that a good plan you execute today is infinitely better than a perfect plan that just sits on a shelf. Let's be honest, overthinking is just a fancy word for procrastination. Progress will always, always beat perfection. Okay, so with our foundation in place, let's build on it with the connection skills. This is all about how you show up and interact with other people, which, as you know, is absolutely crucial for success. In this section, we're going to dig into 3 things: strategic calm, active presence, and what I call the art of the question. Let's talk about strategic calm. Pressure doesn't build character, it reveals it. When things go sideways, the person who can regulate their emotions and stay focused on solutions, that's the person who naturally becomes the leader. Calm isn't about the absence of stress, it's about mastering your response to it. Next is active presence. This is so much more than just hearing words. It's about making someone feel genuinely seen and understood. We've all been in that conversation, right? Where the other person is just waiting for their turn to speak. That's not listening. Real connection is one of the most valuable currencies you can have. This is such a key differentiator. Look, almost anyone can have an answer, but real wisdom, that lies in asking the right questions. Curiosity is an absolute superpower. Simple phrases like, hey, help me understand, can diffuse a tense situation and unlock insights you never would have found otherwise. And now for our final set of skills. This is the stuff that keeps you growing and relevant for the long haul. This is all about having a growth mindset. So here we're going to cover 3 skills that are absolutely essential for staying adaptable: high emotional intelligence, or EQ, ruthless clarity, and intellectual humility. Here's a crucial point. Your IQ might get you in the door, but it's your EQ, your emotional intelligence, that gets you promoted. It's about managing your own ego and being able to read the unspoken dynamics of a room. Empathy isn't weakness, it's valuable data. It's a true leadership skill. This slide is all about the power of simplicity. We're talking ruthless clarity. Ambiguity is the absolute graveyard of productivity. The ability to take a complex idea and explain it simply, that builds incredible trust and gets everyone moving in the same direction. And our final skill, intellectual humility. In a world that's changing this fast, the moment you think you know it all is the exact moment you become obsolete. You have to stay curious, you have to welcome feedback, and you have to keep that student mindset. Always be learning. It's the only way to succeed long term. Okay, so we've covered all 9 skills.
But here's the thing. Knowledge is totally useless without action. So let's talk about how you can actually start applying these and how they work together to amplify each other. This is what's called skill stacking, and it's where the real magic happens. See, these skills don't work in a vacuum. When you combine radical reliability with ruthless clarity, what do you get? You get high trust. When you combine strategic calm with radical responsibility, people see you as a leader. This is how you create an effect that's way bigger than the sum of its parts. So let's just pause for a second and ask a tough question. What's the real cost of doing nothing? What actually happens if you just ignore all this and keep doing what you've always done? Well, the answer is kind of brutal, but it's also incredibly simple. Your future will look exactly like your present. And so the real question you have to ask yourself is that enough for you? All right, let's turn this into action right now. Take a look at this list again and be honest with yourself. Which one of these 9 skills is the anchor that's really holding you back? And more importantly, what's one tiny 5-minute thing you can do today to start getting better at it? And we'll end on this powerful thought. We all chase goals, right? But goals change, markets shift, companies fold. The only thing that truly stays with you is who you become in the process. Master these invisible skills, and I promise you, the visible success will take care of itself.